Okay, so I'm here, hands-on. Aorus 15, that is the name of their new model. This is the mid-tier model. This is going to come with the 8750H. Let's go ahead and take a closer look. This has a brand new design, as you can see here, and it's got this new lightweight all-metal chassis, which I like that, and it's a very light metal. It feels a lot like the GS65 Stealth. It has this new touchpad here that's this elongated touchpad, which is really nice and classy looking. I kind of wish they had brought it a little more to the edge here to make it a little bit deeper, but overall it's a very large new touchpad, which is really cool. They also have a brand new keyboard design. This is an Aorus keyboard with 3-zone backlighting, so it's a cheaper lighting system setup. I think Aorus is trying to save money and make this more of a mid-tier model, and it's going to have a lower price tag as well. On the left side here we have a big old vent here, a LAN port, USB type A, and a micro SD card slot, which is very interesting. It's kind of a bummer that it's not a full-size SD, but it is what it is. Taking a look on the back here, we have the power port, HDMI, display port, USB-C, Thunderbolt 3, and a lock port here. On the right side, we have the headphone mic jack port, 2 more USB type A's, and another massive vent. And on the bottom, you can see here, there's also massive vents coming in, and you can actually see all those heat pipes. So it looks like we have 3 probably to the CPU, and looks like a 3.5 with 1 shared from the CPU over to the GPU over here. So that's quite a lot of cooling for a laptop this small. This model is going to have the 8750H processor, like I mentioned. It's also going to have the RTX 2060 and the RTX 2070 options for this 15-inch model, which I think is very interesting because Gigabyte has chosen to put the RTX 2080 and the new i9 8950HK in the thinner Aero 15. I really wish they would put the i9 8950HK in this and the RTX 2080, just because you'd be able to get more out of those components into this chassis than you would in the Aero 15. You can see that just side by side, the Aorus is quite a bit thicker than the Aero 15, and it's got quite beefier vents, bigger vents on the sides and back, which means the Aorus is going to be able to keep the components probably quite a bit more cool. So I don't understand exactly why they chose to put the higher end components in the less thermally capable laptop. I would have said this is a much better system to put the i9 8950HK into, as well as the RTX 2080. And the other confusing part is the Aorus used to be the premium high performance model. Gigabyte is flipping their models on the head, so we're now Aero is going to be the high performance model, and the Aorus is going to be the budget cheaper model. The Aorus product manager also mentioned that they will be putting out a more expensive version of the Aorus, which will be a 17-inch, and that one will have the RTX 2080 and like the higher end processors. But for now, this is going to be a cheaper alternative. Now this thing's going to have 2 M.2 slots for your NVMe drives, and it's going to have 1 2.5-inch drive. So where the Aero 15 only has M.2 slots, this is going to allow you to put a full 2 terabyte HDD in addition to another smaller SSD. So this is going to be also a more versatile option when it comes to the dual storage options to save you money. This is going to have a 144 Hz display as well as no Optimus, so your battery life is going to suffer just like in the previous Aorus laptops. I really wish they would include an Optimus option, because it would be a lot more versatile laptop if you could get 8 hours of battery out of it instead of only like 3 to 4 hours of battery life, which is, it seems like a very minor change, and it's something that they really should invest in the future. So now I did get to use the Battlefield 5 demo for the RTX on this, and this has the RTX 2070 in it, and it did seem to run about 45 FPS, 40 FPS on average. If I were to guess, it's definitely a decent performance for an RTX system. We'll have to see, obviously, as the drivers and all that gets updated. And of course, this is the demo that NVIDIA has provided, so they know it's going to perform well on this particular environment. Maybe more complex areas of a game might perform at lower frames per second. It's hard to say. Either way, I think RTX is a cool feature, but it's not really why I would get an RTX laptop. I would get the RTX laptop for the increased base frame rates that are definitely going to increase overall with the new card. So there you go. There's my hands-on with the new Aorus 15. It's a very promising laptop, and I gotta say, you might get more performance out of this one than the Aero 15, even though this one might be cheaper in the end, which is kind of silly, and that's just because it's going to have better thermal management, which is so important when it comes to high-end performance laptops. So yeah, I'd say this one is definitely a laptop to keep a close eye on, especially if you're looking for a mid-range, high quality. That's my review of the Aorus 15. We'll see you guys in the next one. Lots more CES coverage coming. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on those guys, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Brandon out.